What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about Halloween, as Halloween Kills is coming out next month, and it's time to start a new review series getting ready for that movie. It's going to be a sequel to Halloween 2018, and this is a franchise I'm a huge fan of, with the exception of a couple of crappy movies I can't wait to talk about. But for the most part, I love Halloween, love Michael Myers, and I just enjoy binging this entire franchise, and I can't wait to talk about some of these films. And it all started with the classic, with one of the greatest horror films of all time, 1978's Halloween.
Michael?
This was written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, and the script itself, is not exactly mind-blowing or anything like that. It's pretty typical horror film, slasher. Although back in 1978 there weren't as many slashers. In fact, other than maybe Psycho, this is the film that really started it all. And Psycho goes all the way back to 1960. So Halloween in 1978 really kicked off the insane 1980s craze with all of the slasher films. We would not have Jason, we would not have Freddy, we would not have Chucky, and many others without Michael Myers, without Halloween. And so you got to give it its shout out for that. As for the film itself, what really makes this film, even though the plot is very simple, is, well, multiple things, but mainly the directing of John Carpenter. John Carpenter's directing skills here are just insane. This film is not insulting. It's not in your face too much. It's very, very subtle in the way it presents its horror. You don't have just blood everywhere or anything like that. Nothing wrong with that necessarily, but sometimes, it's just over the top and you don't have good suspense. You don't really have, a solid film. You just have a stupid film. And in this case, you have extremely solid film. There are really amazing shots in this film where you see Michael Myers in the background, sometimes kind of blurred. Sometimes it's dark and his face slowly shows up, and just things like that John Carpenter really knocked out of the park and just makes it for a very creepy, very suspenseful film, very rewatchable, and just a great horror film, a great slasher. So that's really why you have just a really good movie. But what takes it to its classic status? You also got to talk about the music here, also written by John Carpenter, but the score is perfect. I mean, yeah, it's also fairly simple, but who comes up with that? I mean, who comes up with that riff right there? It's just absolutely amazing. You hear it, Halloween, boom. And then on top of that, there was just lightning in a bottle with this movie. Finding Jamie Lee Curtis, who was awesome as Laurie Strode. You got Donald Pleasance, perfect as Dr. Loomis. So you have your main cast members are good. Now, some of the minor cast members, I'll get to that in a minute, not as good. But your main cast members are great. And then the mask. Say, go out and buy a mask. Go out and buy a mask at a Halloween shop. We'll figure it out. Buy a couple options and we'll figure it out. So they get a William Shatner Star Trek mask. Spray paint it white, open the holes a little more, and you have one of the most iconic masks of all time. Now, obviously, some of the later sequels somehow couldn't recreate anything close to the mask. They were really horrible and embarrassing, which I'll definitely have to talk about when I get to those movies. I think I can make a fan film tomorrow and get a better mask than some of the sequels, but I digress. As far as the 1978 mask, absolutely awesome. And again, I mean, there was some talent there in thinking, hey, let's spray paint it white. Let's do this. Let's open the eye holes a little bit and, spray paint the hair and whatnot, not show the eyes. There were some things that they did to make it ultimately, super creepy. But still, the fact that William Shatner mask worked so well, there was some lightning in a bottle with this movie. So there's an awesome score, great shots, super effective, great suspense in this movie, and awesome acting, at least at the top, for your two main characters. The only thing that does bug me about this movie, to be honest, is some of the minor characters, some of Laurie's friends, some of the acting is just a little, I don't know what, over the top, just not that great, just the way they talk. Some people find it kind of charming. That's how they talked in 1970. That's how teenage girls talk. And it did a good job to kind of show the contrast. You knew that Laurie Strode was the very intelligent girl here. She was very smart. She was not just the way the other girls talked all due respect, I know, you have some very, beloved characters there. For example, Annie. I know Annie's got a lot of fans, and sometimes she's okay. Some lines she delivers great. But there's some that's just like, when they're walking, home from school, and just the way she talks, it's either horrible acting or just annoying. I don't know. Other than that, there's not really any problems with this movie. It is simple. It's fairly short. It's about an hour and a half. It's not going to just blow you away more than likely, but it is going to be just, you're going to be on the edge of your seat if you've never seen it, especially. It's an edge of your seat, thrilling, very suspenseful horror movie, slasher film, and it leaves off so that you can make a sequel if you choose to. I don't think they plan to, but the way it left off, they had to make a sequel with how much money this movie made. So they went ahead and made a sequel. This thing was made only on about $300,000 budget. And so they had to make a sequel. And that's what I'll talk about next, Halloween 2. But as for the original Halloween, honestly, I didn't love the acting of some of the minor characters. But that's just such a minor gripe. Overall, you have to give credit to John Carpenter and everything that went right in this film. It is, to me, an absolute masterpiece. So there you have it. That's the original Halloween. Just my quick thoughts on it. This is going to be about how these reviews are. I'm not going to go in like super deep depth of them, but I do want to talk about every single Halloween movie. Maybe not the Rob Zombie ones unless they're requested, but other than that, definitely want to go through the main Halloween franchise, building up to Halloween Kills. So you guys have a great day. Appreciate all your support. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And we will talk to you next time.